This qualifying recap is brought to you by Smart Sanitizer. Hashtag Think Smart.
You take some out. And when we're talking about making a change, we're talking about making a change by 1/10 of a pound. There's Britt. And that would be Billy. Billy had such a strong start to the season, including that win earlier on, but even though he sat out the races we headed out west, he's still hanging on in the top 10 in points. The Capco boys seem to have done what has been next to impossible to do for anybody else about as long as I've been around here, and that's clone a top fuel car. There have been a lot of teams out there that have one good running car and go, okay, let's make another one just like it, and it just never seems to work out. But those boys from Kilgore are making it happen. And to be fair, even though Capco Contractors is based in Kilgore, the race shop for Team Capco is over in Nitro Alley. South Point Circle, just off of Northfield Drive, Brownsburg, Indiana. Right where everybody else is. So Billy's going to start from the number 1 spot unless Brittany can take it away from him. And, well, closest we've seen to that has been Steve at 375. .716, 329 miles an hour by 1/1000th of a second. Brittany Force goes to the top. Brittany gets the number 1 spot away from Billy, who runs 375 at 324. I am impressed. Brittany Force steals the number 1 spot by 1,000. Last couple of weeks it's been Aaron. He's going to start from the bottom this week. The final 2 in Pro Stock. We got a couple of Chevrolets. We got Eric on one side. We got Troy on the other. How about it? 6,600. And Troy Coughlin Jr. goes back to the top. Erica goes 6.612 at 207, and she moves up to 3rd. They are celebrating down there on the starting line. You know why? First time ever, Troy Coughlin Jr. will start Pro Stock from the number 1 spot. Hey, Heartland Motorsports Park, do me a favor, would you? That was fun. Have a little appreciation for everybody out there with a Pro Stock car. It starts with he's in, he's out, she's in, she's out. Number 1, number 3, back up, come forward. And when all is said and done, Troy Coughlin has got a date tomorrow morning with Christian Quadra in round number 1. Greg Anderson going to run Allen. Number 1 right now, Alexa, 389. Top speed, Blake, 332 plus. Nice. 388, 332.6 miles an hour, and J.R. Todd takes DHL to the top. Hagan goes 394 at 325 miles an hour. You almost want to ask what's wrong with it. A monster shot down there for the DHL boys. Joe?
Down here with John Oberhofer. Jono, fist pump, fired up. That was the one you wanted.
Oh, yeah. I spend my whole life trying to make my dad proud. He's here this weekend, so hopefully he's proud.
332.67, number 1? I think so.
I think you're 100% right, Joe, and these guys stood up and delivered. I mean, this is what a championship team does.
Final round, strapped in, had gotten kind of dehydrated, overheated on a very, very hot, humid day out in Pomona. Said, I can't do this. And I give the team a lot of credit because you certainly could go, hey, I'm a tough guy, and cause an even bigger problem.
Incredibly, a guy named Jim Harnsberger in 1971 at the Summer Nationals. A great piece was written about it by Phil Burgess. The same thing happened to him in the Top Fuel final. 50 years later, it was that.
371, 322 miles an hour, and Billy Torrance goes to the top. Justin Ashley goes 3.796. He goes 320 miles an hour, and he'll sneak into the number 2 spot right now. First one we've seen, sub 3 seconds at the 8th mile. And Ashley's car was hustling along down there pretty well also.
Yeah, pulling along at 292.20 at half track. Nothing to complain about on either side of that one. And I know for Justin, this was a big just kind of, one of those psychological things. You get back in the car, you make the rip, and everything kind of gets put behind you, because for a week and a half and change, or a week and change, he's been sitting on this sour feeling from Pomona. It's also a great thing for the entire team to get a nice clean lick in here. But, man, Billy Torrance, not that we would expect anything less.
One of those races, and they extended that deal. He sits number 5 in the points right now, and I think he's most people's right now top choice for Rookie of the Year. But he's not thinking Rookie of the Year. He's thinking top 5. He's thinking maybe championship. Dallas' car looked like it tried to drive a little bit towards the center. Solid run to the stripe, 6.634, 205.51 for Kid Chaos, and he's going to go to the number 1 spot by 1,000. Dallas does 665 at 204.48, and that is now 5th best. So KK sitting number 1 right now. He's still got 4 cars left.
Yeah, that's a good run for Dallas. Doesn't put them at the top of the sheet or anything, but they were 12th qualifier in Pomona. That was a weekend that they just forget.
Competition Plus is your go-to source for the latest in drag racing news. For over 20 years, CompetitionPlus.com has provided news you can trust, thoroughly researched and delivered as quick and fast as it can be uploaded. Whether it's nitro or stock, drag radial or pro modified, our writers are trained to bring you the inside story time and time again. We have it all, from in-depth news articles to the latest in high-performance products to the scuttlebutt making its way around the pits. Original video content from the stars in drag racing also makes CompetitionPlus.com the ultimate one-stop shop for die-hard drag racing fans. Don't make CompetitionPlus.com your only stop on the information superhighway. Make it your first. For news you can trust and have trusted for 20 years, visit CompetitionPlus.com. Be sure to download our mobile app. It's a free download on the Apple Store and Google Play.